The hands can't hit what the eyes can't see. Tonight, Hands of Stone. What's happening, y'all? Welcome to the Final Call Movie Review Show. It's J-Dub.
And Mason.
And tonight, we are reviewing this year's movie Hands of Stone, starring Edgar Ramirez as Roberto Duran, in the true story of how he became to be a great known boxer, as well as Robert De Niro stars as Ray Arcel as the man who found him, a great boxing manager in his own right, as well as one of the highlights of this movie is the feud between Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard, played by Usher Raymond, which right off the bat, just from seeing the trailer before I even knew about this movie, I took a glimpse of Usher Raymond as Sugar Ray Leonard. I was like, I want to see this movie. Boxing movies are something that can be, pun definitely intended, hit or miss when it comes to the theater. They can either be really well done or they can completely sink uncontrollably. This story, I feel, works on the big screen. Well, not necessarily on the big screen, but as a movie. It's more of the untold story behind the mind games played behind the Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard feud, as well as telling the true compelling story behind a man who came up from nothing, fought for everything that he had to get, became a great boxer in his own right, was found by an already established boxing manager to make him even greater, gets too greedy in the long run, loses it all, and eventually regains it all back. But the moral of the story is that there was a lesson learned. He wasn't just handed everything back. He actually had to fight for everything back, which is why this movie spoke to me a lot. That was a true story of come back up from the muck and rise again like the ashes of the phoenix, or however the quote goes.
There's a lot that I agree with what you said, but there's like an element that I disagree with in a sense, where the film's pretty decent. It's an alright boxing film. There's, it's no Raging Bull by any means. I see De Niro, I hear boxing, I think Raging Bull. I don't care about Hands of Stone. But Hands of Stone is not a great movie, but it's not a really bad movie. It handles the boxing really poorly, I thought, as far as the cinematography during the actual fight is concerned. I don't like the in-ring shots. I don't like the way the camera follows things, what's going on there. I just did not like the way that was done. I also felt like the film was somewhat shallow all throughout. Like, it spans a lot of time. It doesn't really spend too much time on any individual character. It goes from character to character to character. It doesn't sit there. You don't really delve into Roberto Duran and his feelings. You don't really deal with the interaction between him and the woman that he loves. You don't see the arc of that storyline, and I think the film would have been a lot better if it had delved into that arc. The stuff that's going on with De Niro I find to be kind of lackluster. It's like, who cares? Like, it's just not intense enough. Like, there's not enough at stake for what De Niro is apparently risking, because it never materializes. There's just this whole, something could happen, but it ain't gonna happen, it ain't a problem, like there's so much more that could have been done with this story. I feel that the way that the whole movie goes, you could have concentrated on a little less stuff and made a much better film. So I don't know, like, the girl that's in it is beautiful. Hey, what's up?
Hello, Miss Anna.
Hello, Ana de Armas.
Miss de Armas.
You're quite lovely.
Hola.
And, there's a lot of really goodness in this movie as far as, like, what's supposed to be done, or what's supposed to be portrayed and told. It's just, there's Sugar Ray Leonard and okay, now we're fighting, and okay, now we're friends, and like, there's no, like, how the fuck did this actually happen? It's just like, motherfuckers show up in the locker room. What's happening, bro? All right, cool. I guess we're boys now. Oh, hey, look at that. Here's a big scroll at the end. These guys have been friends ever since. Like, there's so much more, I feel, that could have been done with the Roberto Duran story. I feel like it was just far too shallow of a movie to have really done the man justice. And he's a great fighter. Like, he was one of the greatest fighters ever. Like, Roberto Duran's the fucking man. So I felt like I had more respect for Roberto Duran than the filmmakers did, in a sense.
That's a good way to put it. I do agree on the fact that the story, if it was a longer film, it probably would have worked, because there is a lot of stuff left out that could have used a lot more detail. It still works in the notion that it's pretty concise for what it is. And also with the fight sequences, I think I see what they were trying to do, what they were kind of trying to go for with the kind of choppy editing, kind of like what they did in Snatch. So if it was if it was done just tweaked, little tweaks here and there, it would have been awesome. It would have flowed perfectly. I saw what it was aiming for, but it didn't completely kill the movie experience, but it wasn't all amazing either. But the sequences were decent, I'd say. Nothing along the lines of being a spectacular film. If you're looking for something that is uplifting, something to lift your spirits up, something that can be emotional at times,
but not very.
But not very. I did get a little misty-eyed, but the tear didn't quite come out.
I did not.
It's a pretty decent watch.
It's a decent watch. But, you know, on a scale from 1 to 100, what would you give it?
On a scale from 1 to 100, I would have to give Hands of Stone a 77.
On a scale from 1 to 100, I would have to give Hands of Stone a 68. And, you know, I don't recommend seeing it in the theater. If you're a Roberto Duran fan, if you're an Usher fan, if you're a Deniro fan, if you like any of these people, it's not bad. It's worth watching at some point. You can Redbox it. You can wait to see it on HBO or whatever. But, what about you?
I saw it in the theater, and it was cool in the theater because I had the entire theater to myself. Which means that it's going to play just as well on the big screen at home. I don't think it's in theaters anymore. But I do think that if you're a Redbox member, you get a free DVD every 10 DVDs you get. This would be worthy at least of using your free code for. I don't think it's anything that's...
If they don't have Last Tango in Paris, then this is certainly a good one to go for.
Then you could go with Hands of Stone.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You won't walk away, that was a terrible movie. It's decent.
So, this is the Final Call Movie Review Show, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram and any other things that we link up here down below in the comments section. Subscribe to us here on YouTube, please, and like us and comment and let us know what you think. Thank you for your time.